This is Dan Dicks here reporting for Press for Truth with breaking news today. A massive purge is underway on YouTube as they just deleted hundreds of channels today. Some, just to name a few, are X22 Report, SGT Report, Just Informed Talk, The Amazing Polly, and World Alternative Media. And joining me on the line today is Josh Sigurdson of World Alternative Media. Josh, thanks for joining us here today, man. First of all, I'm sorry to hear the news. I know exactly what that's like, but let me first just say, welcome to the Cool Kids Club. I mean, this is obviously a sign that you're over the target and you're doing good work because of the deletion coming in the way that it did. So why don't you tell us, how did you first hear the news today that your channel that you've invested 7 years of your life into with over 155,000 subscribers was just terminated? How did you get the news today?
Well, I was posting a video, and about 20 minutes after I posted the video, I get this email. This email I've known was coming for a very long time, Dan, and it just said YouTube account, something like that. I opened it up, and it said that your account has been suspended. It said suspended on my email, but then when I went to the actual account on my computer, it showed that it was permanently disabled. And their reasoning for it, initially it wasn't clear at all. And then later on, after I've appealed it, they sent me an email saying that it was disabled for bullying, which I don't do. If they consider me calling out politicians in a nonviolent, completely peaceful way, bullying, then that's a very bad precedent to set, because basically you have YouTube picking sides, deciding what people can or cannot hear, which is completely insulting, not just to me, but to the people who watch my channel, basically saying, like, hand-holding, saying that they're not allowed to watch content they want to see. But anyway, I got this email and I appealed it. And, you know, the craziest part, Dan, was that I was planning to leave YouTube November 5th of this year. It was the whole remember the 5th of November plan, which was to get off YouTube and just post trailers to my full content on BitChute, Library, which is now Odyssey, and Float.app. And I am on those platforms, so please go follow me over there, guys, if you haven't already, because they've completely destroyed a large part of my livelihood. They already demonetized me previously. They've been shadow banning me for a long time. And just last night, Dan, I was talking with someone about how amazed I was that they hadn't taken me down yet. And when I looked up my name on YouTube, I couldn't find almost anything of mine. It was only just like CBC News, Canadian State-Run Media, Fox News, CNN, CNBC, MSNBC. Nothing from myself, which was a big red flag. So anyway, as you know, and as what it happened to you as well, Dan, they basically said that I'm not allowed to have a YouTube channel in the future. I can't do anything on YouTube going forward, and they are not giving me really any recourse. Of course, what you do is you send in an appeal, and most of the time they don't even read the appeal. They just say, we stand by our decision, and they just don't give you your YouTube channel back. Same reason they give when they take down videos for no reason. Again, I don't bully people. What I think is bullying is saying, oh, your opinions don't matter, your ideas don't matter, you telling facts, you being a journalist and telling the news, free press, doesn't matter. That is bullying, that is hand-holding, that is nannying, and that is not the kind of world I want to live in.
And it's interesting timing to me that this would happen in the lead up to a federal election. I mean, in the US, I mean, this is huge. And the amount of channels that were purged today is huge. And a lot of these people talk about politics. What do you think about the timing surrounding the events coming up to a potential second wave in the fall of this so-called pandemic and a US federal election? Do you think it's political?
Absolutely, and it's very daunting. You know, Dan, I've always been consistent in the idea that I don't support any politicians. I've always been very upfront and clear. I don't want people to go vote for Trump. I don't want people to go vote for Biden. I don't want people to go vote for the masters of their neighbors. I don't support any of that. And so I've been very consistent in that, as a lot of people have been. So it's not even like they're trying to go after people that are anti-Trump or pro-Trump or whatever it might be. It's that they're just going after anyone who has an open mind who's in any way skeptical to the global establishment in any way, shape, or form. And they're basically silencing anyone who tries to speak outside of the establishment narrative, which is the set narrative, which, don't mistake it, is the government narrative. It's it's basically the information police. It's the Orwellian idea that the government and these major corporations can collude together under the guise of saving humanity and helping people by destroying humanity and trying to push people out on the streets and not allowing them to get the information they need to make their own decisions in life, because it's not their decisions anymore. It's the government's decisions, and it's lockstep. That's what they're trying to do. And they're trying to divide people and drive people against each other. And I don't like to be divisive. I like to just say freedom is good, slavery is bad. Very simple stuff. So what I find interesting, Dan, is that, you know, with the elections coming up right away, we knew that since 2016, we saw a lot of censorship in independent media. We knew that in 2020, we'd see a lot of the same censorship, but probably on steroids, because they got away with it then, they're going to get away with it now. And we saw it coming from a mile away. But on top of that, what's very daunting to me is that they have all of this other stuff coming together, culminating, which is the COVID stuff. The branch Covidians have gotten to the point where if anyone in any shape or form questions the establishment, they are muzzled. Literally, in many ways, they are muzzled. And I really can't help but think this is going to get a lot worse before it gets better. And I'm very concerned because obviously I'm not the first, I'm not the last. And before we know it, only corporate media will be left. And unfortunately, far too many people are too lazy to take 2 seconds out of their day to go to a different website to watch content. It's like it's some kind of like wormhole where there's like a wall in the way and they can't go, oh, I was on YouTube, I was watching you. It's too much work to go one link over and watch you there on BitChute or there on Odyssey or there on Float. I mean, that is what really concerns me. So is it political? Absolutely it is. Will it continue? Absolutely it will. And I think that it's going to end very badly for just the average person trying to live freely, because it really sets a precedent where they get to decide the narrative. And if they decide the narrative, they decide people's lives, they decide how people live, they decide what people believe. And eventually they'll just control all of humanity. And I'm really concerned about it.
Yeah, me too, man. We're both now currently navigating this newly uncharted waters, really just trying to figure out this censorship space moving forward from here. So I'm sure you've had a plan. Like you said, you've seen this coming. You've been warning your audience about it, trying to migrate them off the channels and over to the new ones. But what sort of other things do you have in store? I mean, this is a big hit to the truth community today. So I'm sure people are going to want to know what's the plan moving forward.
Well, so I want to clarify that, first of all, I mean, I was demonetized earlier this year completely back in May. They cut off all my funds. And before that, there weren't much funds anyway, because they shadow banned me around January 2019 to the point where I couldn't even reach people. And only 0.1% of people who clicked to be notified actually got notified of my content. So I've known that it was coming for a long time. And so in the last several months, I got rid of my home that I was renting. I got rid of all of my possessions. I got rid of my vehicles, all of my bills. I'm literally living out of a backpack, one backpack, and I've crushed as much clothes in there as I can. And I have my camera, my phone, and my laptop. That's it. That's all I have, Dan. And I got rid of all that stuff because I believe in what I'm doing. I don't do this for money. I do this to hopefully change people's minds and lead other people down a path to living freely and living by example, and not falling for the slave tactics of these massive behemoths of state, of censorship, of corporate, overlords. It's all about individuals living freely, being responsible, and I want to get that message across as much as I can. So I got rid of all of my stuff months ago, and the very last of it in the last couple of weeks. And I moved to Montenegro in the Balkans, former Yugoslavia, living on $400 a month rent with no bills through Airbnb month by month. And the reason for that is because I want to continue doing this. If I don't do that, I'm not going to be able to bring this information to people, because I'm going to have to go work construction or something like that. And that's not my passion. That's not what I want to do. I'd rather, basically live in a back alley somewhere than not be able to do this anymore. So my plan was always over this year to kind of get rid of anything that was holding me back in life. And you know what? The last thing that was holding me back, Dan, YouTube. You know, in a lot of ways, it is a blessing because it really feels like a weight off my shoulder in a lot of ways, because I've known this is coming for so long. I've been preparing. So I've been trying to get people to go to Library, which is now basically Odyssey, to go to float.app, to go to, you know, BitChute and subscribe on there. And going forward, I'm going to keep pumping out my message. I will not stop. I'm going to be way louder now. And, you know, at the back of my head, there's always that little bit of self-censorship that you do when you're on YouTube, just a little bit. You try not to. You try to say whatever you want and get as much out as possible. But there's always that concern, oh, they're going to take me down for this. It doesn't matter. I have a video coming up right away on Sweden, which was definitely going to get me taken down anyway. And I just posted a video on the lockdown in Hawaii and how that was affecting people there. I knew these videos were going to get me taken down. And I couldn't even get my Sweden one up before they took me down. But I got these videos ready to go, and I'm going to keep bringing that out to the people and try and get as many people educated as possible. It's never been more important. We are in the most important time in human history since the time of Christ. And I mean that, because we have gotten to the point where everyone is basically shackled worldwide. Every government is colluding with each other worldwide to enslave humanity. And they have a few steps to go until full technocracy. And if we don't educate people now, this is our last chance. It's do or die. And I'm not allowing myself to give up. You know, we all put ourselves at risk, Dan. You put yourself at risk. I put myself at risk, because down the line, when freedom is destroyed even further, we could be the first people in the gulags. But you know what? We know that, and we keep doing that stuff because we believe in the message and we believe in saving other people. It's a duty of ours. We're probably born with it, honestly. So I'm going to keep bringing the message forward and trying to be as loud as possible. And I don't give a damn what they do to me. The only way they're going to stop me is by killing me. And that's the only way they're going to stop me. Let's hope that doesn't happen anytime soon.
Well, they're going to try other tactics, that's for sure. And I'm going to warn you about one, because I just found out something about 5 minutes before doing this interview that I am absolutely livid about. Something I've been doing as a hedge against this coming censorship that I've known about was coming to my YouTube channel. I knew it was coming, so I wanted to be able to contact my subscribers individually. So I've been collecting their emails through MailChimp. Well, today I just got an email from MailChimp saying my account has been terminated due to a violation of the terms of service. I can no longer email, mass email all the subscribers that I've been collecting for the past couple of years in preparation for this. Just today, MailChimp terminated my account. Now, this isn't the end of it. I've just messaged them back right before we've done this interview to basically appeal this and get some explanation for what terms of service have I violated. But the point is, Josh, they're coming at us now at all angles. They really, really don't want this information coming out there. And they're going to do everything they can to stop it and turn YouTube into ThemTube, turn it into the TV of old. As you say, today, when you try to look up your name or mine, you're just going to find CBC articles and stuff from CNN and Fox. It's absolute insanity, Josh. So I think, as you say, things are going to get a little bit shakier. Things are going to get a little bit worse before they get better in terms of censorship. So on that note, what's the best place for people to go right now? Because, I mean, there's BitChute, there's all the others, but are you still putting it all on your website too? Because they're coming at all angles here, Josh. Like I said, they just took me out on MailChimp. I was not expecting that whatsoever. But I wonder, where's the best place for people to go to find you on all the platforms?
Well, first of all, I do want to make it clear that I was never a fan of Christopher Cantwell, but I remember years ago they took down his MailChimp, and I remember thinking that this is before Alex Jones got taken down. I remember thinking they are going to slowly encroach on then Alex Jones, then people like yourself and myself and everyone else. You know, basically the only one left on YouTube now is like James Corbett. So I mean, I knew that they were going to do this eventually. So I did. I do save my emails off of MailChimp as well on a backup drive. to ensure that they don't get those, which, you know, I have to renew right away and copy down some more emails, but thanks for reminding me. But you know, people can help me out by going to, you know, Subscribestar too. You have to back yourself up on as many different avenues as possible. Float.app, Library, or Odyssey, BitChute, Minds. I've got all these different accounts on Subscribestar. Patreon and GoFundMe will definitely destroy my you know, partnership with them as far as my account goes. So I don't put any weight on that. But with that said, people can find me on there. And, you know, go and send me an email at worldalternativemedia@gmail.com. And I'm getting off of Gmail right away too, but I'm going to take those emails and transfer them over off the intranet to be able to maintain those emails so I can give people stuff. And you can join a newsletter, one of our newsletters, by going to www.iamband.com. That's iamband.com. And you can subscribe there. It takes just putting your email in. So there's many different ways. You know, I wish there were more, because, you know, we try to prepare, but we're also doing videos all day, every day, Dan. Like, we're working all the time to bring out new content, researching, editing, doing the video itself, posting and marketing it. So it takes up a lot of time and effort. So, I mean, honestly, I wish I could have gotten more prepared, but I wasn't as prepared as I could have been, even though I knew this was coming. Nonetheless, they're coming for all of you folks. It doesn't matter who you are, whether it's myself or Dan, whether it's just a person sharing our work. They're coming for every single one of us. And if we don't get off of these platforms soon, we'll lose each other. They've already destroyed social, you know, prospects of people actually conversing with each other. Humanity itself is based on the social interaction. Really, we talk to each other, we work together. They're destroying that, from masks and muzzles to social distancing. And now they're social distancing you online, and they will take you off the internet as well on all of these different platforms. So get off of Facebook, get off of Twitter, get off of YouTube, go to BitChute, go to Library, go to Flow, go to Minds, get off now. I can't say this in more languages, because seriously, we're at the end point. This is the end game. Do it now or forever hold your peace, because you will never be able to access good free information again. And look what they've done to Julian Assange. Look what they've done to Edward Snowden. Look what they've done to so many people. Right now, there's a whistleblower that came out and Facebook fact-checked it before he even put the information out as false. I mean, they've gotten to the point where it's Orwellian doublespeak. Get off of these mainstream platforms now.
Yeah, it is beyond crunch time, folks. The time to do that was last week. So if you still have not subscribed to myself and Josh and all your favorite YouTubers on these other platforms, you really need to do so. Otherwise, as Josh said, they're all just going to disappear, and you're just going to all of a sudden think, oh, where did these guys go? Guess what? They're all going to still be producing daily content. It's just going to be on these other platforms. And maybe that's a good thing moving forward, because screw Google anyways. So once again, man, I'm sorry to hear the news, but welcome to the club. You're clearly doing something right. And, you know, I hope that this actually backfires on them and, you know, really puts you on the map, you know, in terms of the work you're doing, which you've been doing great work for a long time, but maybe this will be the catalyst now to really to kick things off. And I hope it works out for you. I'm going to continue to be paying attention, obviously. Yeah. Once again, man, I just want to encourage you to keep it up. Obviously, I'm sure this has ignited a fire under your belly to just want to really bang out the good stuff now. So I look forward to seeing more of your content coming soon, Josh. Thanks again, man. Take care.
I always appreciate your support, Dan. Thanks.
We all want truth. The truth will set you free.